I'm going to introduce our wellness speaker today, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
Her name is Kate Siano. Kate is from Spark Possibility, which is a coaching and consulting firm dedicated to supporting businesses and the people who power them go from simply functioning to flourishing. Spark Possibility is grounded in neuroscience and positive psychology. They provide results-based training, coaching, and speaking engagements for cultivating resilience and developing a possibility mindset amongst leaders and teams. So I'd like to welcome Kate.
Thank you. Hello, everybody, and good morning. I loved that first presentation, and though Sarah and I did not collaborate ahead of time, I love where we ended with belief and doubt, because you're going to see some connections here. So let's all cheer for synchronicity for just a moment. I love it. Really great presentation. I'm pulling up my presentation here. Let me know if you see it.
Yes.
Yes. Fabulous. Fabulous. Great. Well, again, I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. I think we can all ask the question of ourselves, who am I, right? Who am I? I have been a strengths-based practitioner for a little over 11 years and in the well-being industry for over 25. And these are my top 5 signature strengths. And you all will have the opportunity to find out what your signature strengths are as well. But these really have to do with our belief systems and our self-concept. And when we're working and coaching with individuals, we like to take this strengths-based approach to really focus on what's strong with us and not what's wrong with us, because our brain already has a natural negative bias. So I'll be talking about that today with you as well. I'm a coach and consultant. I have the alphabet soup to prove it, which just validates that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm excited to share with you some knowledge today around cultivating resilience and a possibility mindset. I think you can see in my energy, I'm an optimist by choice. I'm a mom of 2, and I'm a yogi, and I'm a type 1 diabetic, which is really my purpose and my passion in why I do what I do. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit first about neuroplasticity, which is just the fancy scientific word that means we can grow our brains. Now, our brains are developing until we're about 25 years old. That's why teenagers do dumb things, right? They lack judgment. It's still forming. But once we're 25, our brains are fully formed, and we're still able to grow our brains just in the same way we grow our muscles through exercise. So this is my partner, Liz. Don't let the dimples fool you. She's a tough cookie. But when Liz and I met, our shared love language is neuroplasticity. I was coming from a resilience perspective about how do we bounce back, recover, and grow through adversity. How can we use applied positive psychology and tools like mindfulness and meditation to develop greater resilience, calm the stress response, and really maximize our human potential? And in Liz's work, she's coming from a behavioral psychology perspective. And when she teaches mindset mastery, which I'll share with you a little bit today, it's really developing meta skills, or being able to think about thinking. We call that metacognition. So we use specific constructs and models that teach us how to think. There's a lot of people that will, tell you what to think, but this is more about how to think. And so together we created what we call the user manual for your mind. So write this down: self-awareness, self-regulation, and self-concept. Notice a common theme here, because if you can't manage yourself well, you can't manage anything well. True? So self-awareness is really about awareness of your own thoughts and feelings. It's also awareness of your own goals, dreams, and desires. Self-regulation is just that. It's the ability to calm the stress response, right? To have that heightened sense of awareness of thought and feeling, stimulus and response, and being able to self-regulate in the moment. And then self-concept, as I mentioned, these are our I am statements. What are you believing about yourself? And our belief systems, we have three kinds: imposed and borrowed, usually from childhood and the people we hang around, and then created, the beliefs that we create about ourselves and our environment. So that's where we start. That's the foundation of all of this. And we have to understand your brain on stress. Now, there's this little organ in the base of your brain called the amygdala, and its job is to constantly scan for danger, including things like, I don't know, change, unexpected change. Doesn't have to be danger in the sense of a physical threat to your safety, but anything that makes you uncomfortable. Because your brain's job, write this down, is to conserve energy, avoid pain, and seek pleasure. So what happens when unexpected change occurs or a stimulus occurs? Our brain starts to send off hormones in our body, and those stress hormones shut down your hippocampus, also in the base of your brain. Your hippocampus is your memory center. This is why when we're stressed out, we can't find our keys, we lose our train of thought. It's also where your beliefs are stored, your subconscious beliefs. So this leads us into the prefrontal cortex, like our executive functioning, our decision making. It's only 5% of our functioning brain. That means that hippocampus, that subconscious mind, is running 95% of the time. And if we're not actively managing our mind, we're running on autopilot. And that's where all those fear thoughts come from. Like, you can't do that. This is too hard. You're not smart enough for that. You've never done that before. That's your subconscious just serving you thoughts to conserve energy, avoid pain, right? Failure can be painful, and to seek pleasure. Just stay where you are. Well, when we start to understand that this is what our brain is doing all of the time, we can start to understand the science of thinking and using the beta brain to tame and train that subconscious mind. Because what you're believing is true in your life is creating your reality. And so when we practice the science of thinking and the art of questioning, asking good questions, we can start to believe intentionally. Whoa, I know. Write that down too. So, resilience. Everybody's talking about resilience, the ability to bounce back, right? Yes, it is the ability to bounce back, grow, and recover. And it's really about building capacity, because really what's stressful for one person may not be stressful for someone else. So we can't just say, oh, stress, right? Stress, and I apologize for the math equation here. I just think it's a nice, easy representation, right? It's really about pressure versus capacity. So when pressure is high and capacity is low, we're overwhelmed. We freak out. We're losing our minds. When pressure is low and capacity is high, like, we're easy breezy, content. And then there's the sweet spot, right? Where pressure is high and capacity is high. And this is when we're in the zone, we're in flow state, we're engaged, right? And then to the contrary, when pressure is low and capacity is low, we're just on autopilot. We're bored. So stress is not all bad. It can take us from burnout to boredom, high performance, and burnout. There's that whole spectrum. So how do we build more capacity so that we're ready for those stressful moments? We start by setting the intention. Write this down. So we set the intention at the beginning of the day, going into a meeting, preparing for a difficult conversation. We've all had those or are having those. We set the intention and we start first by embodying calm. That's your first C, calm. We do this by simply breathing. Slowing down your breath will help you to calm and deregulate the nervous system. And then we create clarity. We go in with a heightened sense of awareness. We use mindfulness and meditation to train our brains so that we're more self-aware and we're more aware of others, that expressed empathy and compassion when we have a heightened sense of awareness. And then cultivating curiosity. This is where we use good questioning so that we really understand that we have agency over our own minds. We can be the thinker, the creator of our thoughts to derive meaning and purpose from our interactions. Curiosity and questioning is an excellent communication skill, especially when you're on opposite sides of the table, coming from different mindsets. Using curiosity to help deepen connection can be extremely helpful. So those are your 3 C's. Calm, take a deep breath. Clarity, right? Feel what you're feeling, try to feel what they're feeling, and then focus using good questioning and curiosity. All right, so we went from the 3 C's, we're jumping into the 3 M's, mindfulness. So many of us know mindfulness as present moment awareness. Be here now, be in the present moment. But my favorite definition is from Jon Kabat-Zinn, who's the founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction. And he says, mindfulness is a heightened state of awareness. Here's that C word again, with curiosity. We lose that as children, don't we, after childhood? Using curiosity and without judgment. So don't judge the thoughts, don't judge the feelings. I shouldn't be feeling that, that's dumb, that's not good. No, heightened state of awareness with curiosity. What could this mean? Oh, well, you look at that. And without judgment, what can I learn here, right? What meaning do I want to assign to this? And so mindfulness doesn't have to be hard. That's why I love using character strengths as part of a mindfulness tool, because you can recognize your own strengths, you can recognize them in other people, and it kind of makes mindfulness this playful act, if you will. But there are 3 ways to practice mindfulness. You can do one, you can do all, but there's a formal practice. So you're dedicating a specific time and place to practice mindfulness. And we're going to do this one today, using your 5 senses, watching your breath, and then focusing on expansion. And then there's informal. This is like, use it when you need it, right? It's the power of the pause. It's putting some space between the external stimulus and your internal response. It's pausing before you react, okay? You can use body awareness, thought feeling awareness, asking good questions. And then there's in the moment, which is where I hope you are right now. We're monotasking. We're paying full attention to this moment. Active listening, listening to understand versus listening to respond. I love that expression, right? And practice being. Sometimes I just turn the music off in the car and you just be there, right? Taking the scenery, taking the sounds and sights around you. So we're going to practice mindfulness right now. It's not going to be 10 to 20 minutes. It'll probably be like 3 minutes. But to give you a little immersive experience. So wherever you are, I invite you to just sit kind of tall. Plant your feet on the ground. So your feet are grounded and uncrossed. You can place your right hand over your heart, just like Jon Kabat-Zinn and I, and your left hand just rest in your lap in an open and receptive gesture. I'm going to ask you just to close your eyes and just start to take some deep breaths through your nose. And kind of just settle into this space. And we're going to start by using our 5 senses, starting with your hearing, sound. Now know that the outside world is never quiet. So listen as far away as possible. What can you hear way off in the distance. And then, what can you hear close by in your immediate environment? And breathing through your nose, what can you smell? There may be layers of scents. Maybe the scent is just clean air. And then knowing that our scent and taste are connected, what do you taste? This morning's coffee, your toothpaste. And then using your left hand, just rub your fingertips together. That sense of touch. Notice the temperature of your hand, the texture. And then just place that left hand over your right, so both hands over the center of your chest. And keeping a downward gaze, just let your eyes slightly open, letting in a little bit of light. Keep gazing down the bridge of your nose and turn your attention inward to your breath. Taking 3 breaths, watch your breath come in through your nostrils, expanding the space in your lungs and chest, and watch your breath exit the body. Watch your breath expanding, filling through your nose, your chest, your lungs, and watch your breath exit your body. Close your eyes this last breath. And as you exhale, just allow your internal vision to begin to look outward, moving from inward to outward awareness. Just becoming more aware of the space you're in. And then expand your awareness outside your doors and windows. Expand your awareness into your city or town. Expand your awareness beyond your state, beyond this country. Expand your awareness around the globe, a worldly awareness. And then slowly, just begin to allow your attention to travel back, all the way back into your seat, into this space, into this moment together. And take a big breath. And then a big loud exhale. Ooh, was that good for you? That was good for me. Okay, so just stay in that fuzzy space, right? This is what we call alpha state. It's a really beautiful place. So just hang out here and listen to my voice as I share just a little more information with you. So meditation, did we just meditate? Yes, mindfulness can be a form of meditation. And for those of you that think that you can't meditate or unable to, remember that it's not a way of making your mind quiet, but it's a way of entering into the quiet that's underneath those 80,000 thoughts a day we already have. So you can meditate. My mother says a lid for every pot, right? Not every style is for everyone. There is guided meditation like through apps, Calm and Headspace. Deepak Chopra is a big fan of transcendental meditation. There's breathing meditation. You can find the 4x4 box breath in your GIFs. Like if you just Google GIFs and type in 4x4 or box breathing, there's a really nice visual. You can breathe along with the box breath. That's kind of a quick in the moment tool there. Brain and heart coherence, alternate nostril breath, and tapping. For those of you that need active meditation, tapping is a wonderful tool. Emotional freedom technique. You can download the tapping solution app at no cost. And then there's mindset. Now, we don't have a whole lot of time, but what I'm going to share with you here is a pretty traditional cognitive behavioral therapy model, CBT. And really the gist of it here is that this is an active practice in managing your thoughts, understanding that we can't control our external circumstances, other people, things in the past, and global events. They're out of our control. What we can control and manage are our thoughts, which produce the feelings in our body. Our feelings dictate and determine our behaviors, our actions, our inactions like procrastination or avoidance, our reactions, and those behaviors determine our results. Now, we have like a 4-hour course just on the mindset thought model, but just kind of let that sink in a little bit and maybe do a little research on CBT. It's a great self-help tool in managing your thoughts, especially when you're dealing with difficult people. Just saying. Okay, take a picture of this because these are ways you can practice mindfulness every single day. We talked about setting the daily intention. How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up? What are the most important things to accomplish today? You can do a body scan. I love doing this at night. I literally pretend like I have an internal MRI, the open kind, and I scan my body from my head all the way down to my feet. Check in with your mood throughout the day. How are you feeling? Are you cranky? Are you happy? Are you frustrated? Are you content? Ask good questions. Music break, anyone, right? And make a playlist for yourself. I love to have a mood boosting playlist that lets me remember positive memories. I just love a great playlist. Breathing, we talked about breathing. Do it throughout the day. And if all of this sounds a little too much for you, get crafty, right? Painting, coloring, woodworking, they're all ways to practice mindfulness. This is what you get: decreased stress, better decision making, happier relationships. Yes, please, I'll take 2. And then figure out when are you going to do it, right? So this is a daily energy management model. Well, right at the end here, bookend your day. Pick 2 or 3 morning rituals, right? So that can be walking your dog and using your 5 senses. It can be sitting with your breath. It could be that exercise we just did. Have an evening ritual, like I drink a cup of tea, I listen to music, I do my body scan. And then throughout the day, your energy should look like this, like a wave, right? You shouldn't be shooting up, shooting across, and slamming down, right? We should be like oscillating, like riding waves throughout the day. Eat, move, rest, recover. We forget that last R. Recover. Rest is good. Okay? Here's where you can find your strengths. Take a picture of this. This is free. There's tons of free resources on this site. This is the only scientifically validated strengths test in the world. Clifton Strengths was born out of this organization. There are over 15 million users in this database. So amazing resource for you as an individual, for your organization, for your family. They even have a survey for teens from 11 to 17, but a great way to start focusing on using strengths. I don't know if I talked too long or not.
Oh, you're fine.
No, you're great. It was awesome.
So here's where you can find me, sparkpossibilitiescc.com. You can get on the mailing list, find all our social links there. And if you're interested in learning more or working with me, just let me know. Just reach out through our website and you can find me.